Go. Oh, we gotta do this first?
I guess so. Okay. I'm Beth McCray, and this is my informative speech.
Who's our other participant?
Okay. This is not a speech where I will be persuading you to get immunized. Instead, I'll be informing you of the importance of immunization. In the past, not everyone was immunized, and today more people are, which results in how immunization works. Many feel it's not important to get immunized, and have good reasons for this. I would like to clarify some of these myths that have been said about getting immunized. There were epidemics in the past that have now been diminished because of vaccinations. Smallpox is one of those. In the United States, more than 100,000 cases of smallpox were recorded in 1921. Strong declines occurred after that because of the widespread use of preventative vaccines. By 1939, fewer than 50 Americans per year died of smallpox. Smallpox is caused by the virus either variola major or variola minor. Variola major kills 20 to 40% of unvaccinated people who get it and can lead to blindness. Minor very rarely results in death. People don't get sick after directly coming in contact with the virus, which you get through droplets from saliva or other bodily fluids. You don't get sick directly after coming in contact with the virus. There is an incubation period where the virus sets up in your body. You only notice signs and symptoms 10 to 12 days after being infected. There is no effective treatment for smallpox. There are antiviral drugs that might work if they have not been tested due to restrictions on smallpox research. The smallpox vaccine currently licensed in the United States is made with a virus called vaccinia, which is related to smallpox. It does not contain an actual smallpox virus. Vaccinia causes the body to produce antibodies that protect against smallpox and several other related viruses. When a person is vaccinated, the usual response is the development of a red spot at the vaccination site 2 to 5 days after the shot. The red spot becomes pustular and reaches its maximum size in 8 to 10 days. The pustule dries and forms a scab which separates 14 to 21 days after vaccination, leaving a scar. Sometimes there is also swelling and tinnitus from lymph nodes. A fever is common to vaccines. After the vaccine, fatal complications are rare, with less than 1 death per million vaccinations. The vaccine program in the United States was so successful that routine vaccination was discontinued in 1972. I have a picture of smallpox right here, and then just the vaccination, and then a chart that shows vaccine-preventable diseases. Immunizations work by making the body think it is infected with the virus or whatever the person is being immunized of, causing the antigen-antibody response. During vaccination, a harmless version of a germ is introduced into the body, and the immune system responds by producing antibodies to attack the intruder. Antibodies are made by white blood cells called lymphocytes, also known as B cells. The main purpose of B cells is to create antibodies to fight infections. A memory of the attacker is made. Because of this, the body can recognize the bacteria, virus, or intruder and attack it. Immunizations work by keeping a person safe from contracting a disease later. If a person were immunized against the disease, exposure to the disease would immediately set up an immune response, thus protecting the person from actually getting the disease. Vaccinations are largely viewed as the most successful medical advancement in the history of public health. Before vaccines were introduced, smallpox killed millions. Nearly 20,000 were paralyzed by polio and rubella, caused serious birth defects in about 20,000 newborns. Almost every parent knows how important immunizations can be and how they can keep their child healthy. A lot of parents have questions to the effectiveness and safety of the vaccine. There are many myths towards vaccination. A common myth is that even before vaccines were introduced, many common infectious diseases have begun to disappear as a result of public health measures to improve living conditions, hygiene, sanitation, and nutrition. Although general health measures decrease the chance of a child being exposed to a disease, they do not protect the child from being sick if he is exposed, whereas immunizations will. The majority of people who get disease diseases have been vaccinated is another myth. The implication being that this proves vaccines are not effective. In fact, it is true that in an outbreak, those who have been vaccinated often outnumber those who have not. Even with vaccines such as measles, which we know to be about 98% effective when used as recommended. This is explained by two factors. No vaccine is 100% effective. Most routine childhood vaccines are effective for 85 to 95% of recipients. For reasons related to the individual, some will not develop immunity. The second fact is that in a country such as the United States, the people who have been vaccinated vastly outnumber those who have not. A more common myth is that vaccines cause many harmful side effects, illnesses, and even death. Vaccines are actually very safe, despite the assumption. Most vaccines' adverse events are minor and temporary, such as a sore arm or mild fever. This can often be controlled by taking acetaminophen or Tylenol before or after vaccination. More serious adverse events occur rarely, and some are so rare that risk cannot be accurately assessed. As for vaccines causing death, again, so few deaths have been attributed to vaccines that it's hard to assess the risk statistically. The Institute of Medicine, in its 1994 report, states that the risk of death from vaccines is extraordinarily low. In conclusion, I'd like you to know how important vaccinations are. It is obvious that immunizations help now and have helped in the past. They will continue to grow and research will continue to be done. Always remember that prevention is better than a cure.